Hey everyone, welcome back to Crypto Cash. Thank you so much again for joining me here. Hope you're having a great day. Let's take a look here at SOL. That's an acronym for something else too. If you're not familiar, maybe look that one up if you're not familiar, and feel free to let me know in the comments if you know what I'm talking about there. But yeah, Solana is looking SOL for the moment. We can see that pretty solid rejection out that 203 mark. In fact, the price waked up perfectly to that level and turned back around. Also, fun fact here, my alert triggered at 198 last night, sometime around like 11 p.m. I was already in bed, fast asleep. I woke up to a scenario where had I taken the short that I planned on at 200, I'd be pretty significantly in profit right now. But again, hindsight's 2020. Totally saw this coming, but slept through it. I've lost count how many times this has happened. So I'm bringing it up so you understand that it's more important to let that water under the bridge that is to sit there and get hung up over it all day. Okay. Now again, I feel a little frustrated, no doubt about it, because normally I don't care about that kind of stuff, but we've had less opportunities this month and it's been kind of difficult to find good ones. So this is like a layup and I totally missed out. So again, hey, that's just the way it goes, folks. Completely normal. Don't feel alone. All right. I miss opportunities all the time. In fact, half the time I'm looking for validations and trying to do my analysis more often than not, and I do miss those opportunities too because I only have so many alerts that I can cover per day. Anyways, I'm mentioning that just so you understand that it's a very normal thing. Okay, now take a look here. 178 is that lower level there for that local liquidation. There's not a lot left though, so it would make more sense for the price of Solana to recover first before it pulls back. But again, liquidation lately has been fairly deceiving when it comes to this coin, just based on how the market makers are behaving. And yes, by the way, I'm not blaming this on market makers, but the truth is, if you don't think that's a reality, you got another thing coming. I personally feel like Solana is going to continue to be held down for the next 2 or 3 months until February or March, because there's a very large amount of unlocks between now and or at that point rather, and between now and then, I think that we're going to see less adoption where the price is just going to continue to bleed out just because there's a lot of control at these specific areas. As soon as we lose a support, it's just instantly a strong resistance level. And a lot of other coins are doing better than Solana right now too. So you can't just say that it's just underperforming and it's just running concurrent with Bitcoin. It's like 2 to 3x of Bitcoin to the downside right now with only like a half x to the upside. It's pretty pathetic. So either way, just know I've been covering this coin for a very long time, and I think there's more to the equation here than we're actually seeing, and there's a very decent chance that it's more than just technical analysis. I think there's a lot of back-end things that we can't see. But the good news is technical analysis helps us get some form of control while it's not perfect. At this point, the descending trend is consistent. We got to presume it's going to continue down until it doesn't, and when it breaks, that might be a cause for consideration. But this coin has been a pretty big letdown lately. Anyways, we can see the delta here for liquidations gaining for shorts. So as you can see how sporadic this is, if you look at other coins, like just to give you perspective, Bitcoin looks a lot better. See how more consistent this is? It actually has like kind of waves that are happening with liquidation. Solana is just a jagged mess, right? So it can be difficult to trade those kind of conditions. So don't feel left out or weird if you're like having trouble trading this coin right now. You're going to find a lot more success shorting than taking longs, honestly. It's easy to say, of course, hindsight's 2020, but just kind of giving that indication, there've been a couple of stop losses this month that I've had to close early because it just doesn't go the way that it should. And these are times that this coin breaks out completely from almost every single bearish divergence and ends up just rejecting for no good reason. So anyways, I just kind of like to help get you some feel-good knowledge there more so. If they're not constellations, it's just kind of the facts. And unfortunately, the fact is right now that Solana is SOL. So take a look here at the daily time frame. Let's recognize this here. Yesterday closing on a doji candle like it did. We should have saw a reversal to the upside, which we kind of did, but it was, again, another fake out, so to speak, dead cat. A lot of it hinges on the fact that Bitcoin came up to its resistance at 100,000 and rejected. I just covered Bitcoin too, and by the way, it's looking moderately bearish. I think obviously it doesn't take a rocket scientist to figure that out, but it's not looking great here at this point in its resistance range. It's got a lot of reasons why it may continue lower. So that all being said, we're still under the 20, we're still under the 50-day SMA here. There's a lot of reasons why taking a long for this coin at this moment isn't a good idea. Even if it does recover tomorrow, just say Monday morning opens up, it's up 18%, comes up back up to 215. I'm still not going to feel good about it because we haven't broken the trend yet. Okay, the trend is your friend. This coin has been pretty consistent about staying below the 20-day SMA more specifically, and the 50 on the 4 hour. So those are things that I don't have a lot of confidence here right now. And again, a lot of folks, they always want to try to find where's the bottom going to be so I can 100x leverage that bad boy. The truth is no one really ever knows. And with Solana, I don't think we're ever going to discover that until it's too late. That's just the kind of coin that it is. Most coins have that quality right now, and the majority of them are kind of moving outside of any type of logical analysis, okay? Anyways, the whole reason why I'm saying all that is because at this point here, trying to buy the dip, even if we find every single hidden bullish divergence that's possible, it still may not work out. And you got to recognize that this coin has been a pretty significant letdown for any type of long breakouts because it's still respecting this trend. And if you see this, you can see multiple attempts, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, maybe 9 tries to try to break this descending trend, and it hasn't yet. Until it officially closes above that trend, I don't think we should bother. That's just my personal thoughts. 4 hour time frame, let's recognize here, we're getting closer to an overextended state. Again, when you get close to 30 on the RSI, 20 on the MFI, the price does have a tendency of wanting to recover and rally, which it did here recently. You see here when the price came down, it inevitably pulled back up after it dipped really low. Okay, that's that natural capitulation. But at this point here, it just doesn't seem like it's going to continue. There's no reason for it to go up. It makes a lot more sense for it to continue going down. Some folks are probably going to say, oh, we got a double bottom. What about that one? Okay, yeah, that might work out. But again, you're going to be flipping a coin. You're going to be hoping for the best in the situation. So unless you're dollar cost averaging on a spot bag, I don't recommend taking a leverage trade. Okay. Hourly time frame, Ichimoku Cloud. This confirms also that we're still stuck underneath this bad boy. There's been a couple of false positives. I think we took a long right here, had to close it early right here. That rings a bell. I remember seeing a very nice clean breakout. And of course, respecting the trend, the price continued lower, right? At this point, though, if we look, Ichimoku Cloud, lagging spans free and clear conversion lines below the baseline, we're under the cloud. There's not a single thing here that says a long position is viable, regardless of a double bottom, regardless of anything that's hidden that somebody might potentially identify for you. That is not a good viable option. Now, the truth is it's going to bottom out at some point, right? So the thing you want to try to identify is its correlation between Bitcoin and itself. In other words, we take a look at Bitcoin here. Look at how Bitcoin's performing. Bitcoin is barely coming down to its halfway point. So just say hypothetically, we pull this up here, that's a 8% movement. It's not even close, it's barely close to its halfway point, right? It's like it's 50% increase. If we do the same math for Solana, like it's well past that. So that's a very poor pairing. Like Bitcoin's right here, where Solana's right here. You don't take coins like that, you don't take trades like that to the upside when it's performing twice as hard to the downside. So I'm telling you that because if you were to see Solana outperform Bitcoin at any point, that becomes reversed, where Bitcoin is pulling back harder than Solana is, and Solana is showing us some strength in certain areas. That's a case where you might want to consider a long, but only after the trend's been broken, only after we establish range-bound activity. A lot of things need to happen. Okay, so again, for right now, we do have some range-bound activity. So this very well could change soon, right? We could very well be in a position where the price action is just like, hey, you know what? I'm just going to keep ranging for a little bit and then I'll continue back higher. But you know what? This type of range, in most cases, breaks to the downside. Okay? It's common for it to continue lower. So until it breaks this threshold here, we need a 200 or 205 or higher closure. We have zero confidence in taking a long position with this coin. All right? So again, just some things to kind of think about and be mindful of, okay? So either way, I'll post a playout chart here shortly on our Twitter, Telegram, and Discord. If you want to become part of our trading community, cryptocash.tech is a site. I've got a lot of new traders coming over. I want to say congrats to our community here for some nice profits on our SUI long last night. While I slept through our short opportunities, we took a nice long, almost 40% on SUI in 12 hours. That was a good trade. Other than that, if you're new to the community too, trade alerts, read through this. I explain why I take the trades that I take. Like Bitcoin, I gave everyone a heads up we're planning to take a short. Even though I missed it, a lot of people got in still. And then same thing with signals guide too, folks. If you are taking my signals and trading my trades, you have to know the best recommendation. It's all there for you, okay? Thanks again. Either way, hope you have a good rest of your day. Appreciate your time. Enjoy the rest of your weekend. Take care.